Hi. We're on tWoTcast episode 341. No.
Yep.
The music was mesmerizing.
Okay. All right, everyone, shut the fuck up.
Wheel of Time. Reread podcast. Explicit and R freaking rated. John is the wild card, always talking shit.
Are you waiting for me to move?
And he's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
You are viewing tWoTcast. Oh, Jono's first. So we are waiting for you to move. The Wheel of Time read podcast. Now covering Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, The Companion. I'm not going to say that part because it drives me crazy every time. With me is Jono.
Jono!
Oh, okay, good.
Jono, are you
Good
live?
job, Jono.
Yeah.
Joe.
Hey, Tom.
And I'm Tom. Stir Meth.
Tom, your intros are always full of energy and
I
life.
think we should have had our guest instead of you in that square. Start off the show.
I mean, I was gonna bring this up as like a topic of discussion, but like if you were gonna replace one of the three of us with someone from Talk Around Riyadh, who would it be?
Well, not.
I feel like me and Joe are just interchangeable. Like we could just switch shows completely, and no one would notice. I feel like.
I mean, are we trying to keep the show the same, make it better, or make it worse?
Maybe.
You switch me with other Tom, you make it worse. You switch you with Joe, you make it the same. You switch Jen with Jono, you make it better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if we're trying to make it better, then Jono's got to go.
I'm the superior son.
It's no brainer.
I will never let that go.
What the?
That says Superior Tom, like.
Anyway, let's bring in our guest. We're already
Yes.
talking about him. It's Joe Perry.
Yeah.
Talk Around Riyadh.
Joe.
Wow, that's a great,
Perry.
cool graphic. Can
Hey.
you send that to me so I can use that?
Sure.
Proprietary.
It's Joe Perry. I'll just replace our logo with yours again.
Yes. Well, maybe I should have my own like logo, just like my logo for me.
Yeah, that's true.
You
For
should
just your name.
Use that when you start
like that.
presentations at work.
Joe,
Yes.
who made your logo? Because I like your logo. Speaking of.
Tom's wife.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
she
that's
does
odd.
some
Yeah, that
graphic
makes sense.
design, and she made our logo.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Even
I thought it was
long and it is as a square, and that's useful.
Yes.
I thought it was
We like
this
all
dumb
kinds of
Tom's
shit.
wife for a second because Tom. And I was like,
Tom, your wife
that doesn't make
made this
sense.
logo for us.
His name is
Yeah.
Tom, Jono.
Didn't
hey, Tom, your wife made it. You know what else your wife did with him?
It was actually your mom. Your mom made it.
Nailed it.
You got both
Nailed
of us.
Wait, that's me and Tom. Shit.
Yeah.
So no grasshoppers because it's freezing outside, but I just have somebody cool is riding around the neighborhood on a dirt bike.
Oh. Do we get a grasshoppers comment?
All right, let's see what's
What
next.
happens
Introduce guest. We've done that.
Well, have we? Joe, how's it going? How's your show?
Oh,
What have you guys been doing?
Oh, it's good. Been talking about the Wheel of Time for 3 years. Not nearly as much, not as long as you have.
No one
But
has.
yeah, we're getting there.
You guys have you've
So you've
gotten
been
up off
talking-
the ground at this point. It's really getting going.
It's just starting to get going 3 years in.
Yeah.
We're just hitting our stride. We were waiting till after the first season of the show to come out and there to be a real lull for us to really hit our stride.
How many?
Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. As long as there is actually a show to talk about.
That's
How
right.
deep are you guys digging for rumors and tweets from actors?
So it's funny you say that because like when there was the COVID shutdown, that was like the worst because there was we talked about a lot of stuff in preparation for season 1, and then we got to the point where it's like, oh my God, there's no news coming out because they're not filming anymore. That's when Jen started doing like social media roundups where she would go to like the actors, Instagrams and Twitter and whatnot, and just like kind of we talk a little bit about what they posted. And then that's when we started talking about Juliet Howland and her hens. She plays Natty Cawthon and her hens. And then it just became like a running segment hashtag hen news. And we would like almost every week just talk about Juliet Howland's hens. And that sustained us through COVID.
Just talking about hens.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's good.
Do
you call it, in later years, you look back, you're like, that was the dark period.
Yes, the dark period.
The darkest timeline. Joe, I haven't been paying attention. Do you know when the show's coming back?
No. I tried to sneak it in.
Anyone?
I snuck the question in at Comic-Con. But
yeah.
He didn't answer it directly. We just got something to the effect of like, it's still a long ways off, or it's like a while away.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was going to follow closely on the heels of Lord of the Rings, and that's done.
I don't think so. It sounds like definitely next year. I don't know when though.
Next.
Yeah, the
one's
last thing
answering
I heard, the last little bit of news I heard was like certain people were hired or something, like post-production people were like looking for spots or something, and that indicates that they're not even they're like 6 months out or whatever the hell that means in the industry.
So we're gonna have to get together a lot more and try to come up with content, because we're gonna get to Z before this show comes out.
It's gonna I would plan
we'll get to Z, Tom.
I would plan for start going into another well, you know what's it called? It's coming out really soon. Michael Livingston's world.
The
Origins of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
So that'll
I
provide
thought you
some
said
content.
Orgies of the Wheel of Time, and I was like, I will buy that book.
Written by not Michael Livingston.
Wait, can I write that book and just put the author
Yes.
as not Michael
Yes,
Livingston?
exactly what I'm saying. Origins of the Wheel of Time is free, presumably. And we got some work to do on that.
I never really thought about it before. What's a sex pun title for Wheel of Time?
Twat.
We had an episode where we were talking about like Wheel of Time porno names. I think it was a while ago, but there's a new topic.
Oh,
an episode
Whispering
topic
Eye of the
for it.
World, Great Cunt.
Listen, if we've proven anything, there's always something to talk about with the Wheel of Time.
Trollic porn, and we were
You can
talking
talk
about
for almost
Trollic
12
porn.
years.
I'm sure someone says if they've proven anything, it's you cannot always talk about the Wheel of Time.
We actually did. I did pull the companion out today and get to the letter P, and I'm like, man, we're running out. What are we gonna do next? I have ideas. I have a lot of ideas.
Wheel of Time Companion Reread Podcast.
Speaking of that, what are we talking about tonight?
Why Shizzle said it would be a big ass sex igloo. I'm not wearing my shirt. Oh, let me get my companion.
So do the thing with the P that you didn't make.
I don't know what you're talking about. Today's episode of tWoTcast is brought to you by the letter P for Perry, Palm, Poe, and PP7.
Yes, for those that don't know, we are going through the Wheel of Time Companion letter by letter by letter with special guests whose names matches the letter. Luckily, our names match the letter every time.
Is it a stretch that Joe Perry's here? Maybe.
Why? How is that a stretch?
I don't know.
I couldn't make it for Jay.
Perry.
That's true. We were
Joe Perry from
hoping
Hawker and Riyadh.
you and Jen, so she wouldn't be abandoned by you and Tom with just us one episode, but she was strapped with just us.
What we're going to do is just kind of go through the entries and discuss them from our notes. I'm doing the first one, Jono. Let's all turn to page 583 in our books.
First, Tom.
Oh, we're doing more? Are you? Oh, yeah, theme song.
We have to intro the companion.
Walking in the sky, but if it's injured, it won't fly. Take a look, it's in the book, the Wheel of Time Companion. Man's not anywhere, but he has to know the embarkation to go and open a portal. Mad jokes about anything. Martin Daly's cards on page 95, the Wheel of Time Companion. Because we'll read them now and it's on into the Patreon.
It's a good.
I woke up with this in my head this morning. I had Martin Bailey's Pies on page 95 in my head this morning. Like, from the fucking jump.
Joe is one of the few guests that have
It's been a
actually
long-
seen the song before appearing on the show.
It you know what? It's probably the first and only song I've ever heard that successfully used the word embarkation.
Yeah, no. I find a new favorite part every time. I think currently I love when she just says tWoTcast will read some.
All right.
Good.
It's my
Always
absolute-
good.
I'll go.
Thank you,
I'll go
Kathy, as
first.
always.
Then Perry, Joe. Then PP7.
Tom, where did you want us to go?
I'm bringing some structure to this. Page 583.
Okay.
If you go about midway down, there's an entry titled Pasties.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
good
it.
call.
I didn't have anything to say about it. That was it.
Pasties
read
is
the
the
read it,
name
Joe.
for meat pies in the Age of Legends.
When they say meat
It had me at
pies,
meat pies.
we all
Let
know
me-
what they're talking about.
Let me put some pasties in my mouth.
Yeah.
Use
What do
the
they call
pasties
cream
to
pie?
cover up,
Yeah.
Use the pasties to cover up the sensitive part of the meat pie. All right.
Good
Starting
start.
us off well.
Good start, Tom.
How many viewers did we lose?
We gained
All
I'm
of
still
them.
here.
pasties. I'm in. It's weird that they didn't also put because they specifically say the name for meat pies in the Age of Legends, but they don't say what the meaning is like in the Fourth Age.
What do you got? What do you got for us?
Do you want me to
Joe.
pick something out of here? Do I go to
Or John-
obvious
No, you
stuff?
don't have to, Joe.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick stuff. We can just go on.
I have something I noted here that I thought was unusual. So not only is there a character named Pell, but apparently there are two characters named Pell in this series. On
What
page
page?
585,
Yes.
there's Pell,
Yeah.
just plain Pell, and then Pell I Dare.
First
First
Pell
one.
had no last name.
Yeah, he was a gap-toothed wagon driver drinking at the Good Night's Ride, which happens to be my nickname in college.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
Joe Perry, the Good Night's
But
Ride.
not, but not anymore.
no, not anymore.
Nope.
And then a cabinet.
What's-
We have a cabinet maker as well. Pell the cabinet maker.
His current nickname is the OK Night's Ride.
Yeah.
Okay, morning
Oh,
swing.
I was wondering what it was going to be, like if it was the still waiting to get picked up, or just the below average, or
I mean, it could have been great. He could
Could
be
have
the
been
great.
great.
Night's Ride.
Yeah, I was just the Good Night's Ride. I wasn't great, unfortunately.
Joe, I didn't mean to put you on the spot if you didn't mark entries.
No,
just-
I do.
since
I
you-
do. I did my
Okay,
homework.
okay.
Joe, you're good job doing your homework. You know,
All right.
Yeah.
at least one of us Joes did it.
That's. Oh, wait a minute. He would make the show better.
See,
See?
Oh, there
It's
you
real
go.
easy.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
do the work that he's assigned others.
What do you got, Jono?
I don't know if you want to go serious or stay. Let's go serious. Page 580.
Okay.
wait. I didn't really see
Uh,
what
Pedri.
Pele Dare is.
Oh,
He's a cabinet maker.
I don't know. I think the
Oh,
note was
the
just that there was two, not so much that
I'm
they were
kidding.
interested.
No, they were not interested.
Two of a
There was a
name.
cabinet maker from Emmons Field was the other Pell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. He was with Perrin at Malden. There you go. Exciting stuff.
Probably died.
Page, good chance. Page 580, Padre. Joe, if you'd like to read the third sentence, just start at the third sentence.
He said that Ulver was a peasant and was molesting Lord Pear's horses, and seemed to
Thank you,
think
that's enough.
that was enough reason for Ulver's neck to be broken.
I mean, it is pretty gross.
That
Kind of
is,
fucked up. You see like a somewhere between
That's
6 and
intense.
12-year-old just jerking a horse off. I don't blame him.
I mean, yeah, he was molesting them. He wasn't necessarily jerking them off.
Well, maybe it was horse husbandry. We don't know.
Yeah.
just really getting in there, huh? All right.
a good point.
A kind of a secondary view on it. I don't blame people for not really taking Oliver in. He's already a horse diddler. It's not really something that like you kind of want traveling with you. And it explains why he's just staring at every chick's tits too.
I mean, Matt's father was the best judge of horse flesh in all the two rivers, so
That's right.
you know.
I have a question about that line too.
I know
It says,
watch that fanfic too.
it says he was so he was accused of molesting the horses, and seemed to think that was enough reason for Oliver's neck to be broken. It said Matt did not agree. So did Matt not agree with him that he molested the horses, or that he didn't deserve his neck to be broken for molesting the horses?
I think it's
Really
the
good
latter.
question.
Because
So
Matt
thinks he was
and
molesting
Abel
horses.
Coffin are both known for sticking their fists between horses' legs.
Yeah.
Beach just said overhead his fist in the wrong spot.
That entry comes up like a couple times in a row, and it's just like weird because it
Maybe
goes
he
from
was milking the
Patriot to
horse.
Pears, comma Lord, and you're just like, we're hearing about this horse molestation again.
It's peas all the time. Oh, milking a horse. You would think that prostate would be in here right after milking horse.
I think Robert Jordan just had P stuck in his brain for penis when Oliver was molesting the horse. He's just named all the characters with P names.
Padre Lord Pear. I don't know. Penis. Matt did not agree. Matt did not agree. That's my favorite part of the entry, actually.
All right.
After thrashing them with the butt of his spear.
Yeah.
It comes.
Like,
I swear to God, it
cock
comes
slap.
up more than twice, and every time it's like
It's definitely 3 or 4 times because Lord Pears is right there. Who else is it?
Was Cullen? Was it
I
under the
feel
word
like it's-
Cullen too?
Yeah.
So you've
All
heard
right.
about
What's
this horse
Cullen's first
molestation
name?
multiple times now.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I can't swear to anything because I'm always drunk.
That's a great sentence. Heard about this horse molestation multiple times.
I mean, we may or may not have.
like a lot. All right. So since we're speaking of doubles, why don't you guys turn to page 596?
How many double P's are there?
Well,
7?
There's at least this one. Let me know when everyone's there.
596. Okay, I'm there. Am I supposed to know what I'm looking for?
I think Tom froze.
Oh, he did. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
You know what? Your screen. No, we didn't. But your screen was like
Almost
crystal clear, so it looked like you were just reading.
That's it. All right.
Everyone turn to page 596.
It's just that's the last 2 pages. I didn't get to finish them, so that's why I actually made you turn there. It's at the bottom. It's prophecies of the dragon. The very next entry on the next page is prophecies of the dragon, comma the.
Yes,
Oh,
I noticed
is
that,
weird.
and I thought that was really weird too, Tom. And then I realized that one of them is the actual prophecies, and the other one's the book, The Prophecies of the Dragon.
Got it.
And then the next one is the commentaries on the prophecies of the dragon.
I refuse to try to
commentaries
find
on
the
the
difference.
comma.
I was just like,
Yeah.
this is weird.
You can tell because there's italics.
I don't think I super
Also, yeah.
realized that Jane
Jono,
Farstrider
don't be intelligent. It's
or
very
Jane
frustrating.
Farstrider.
No, you was the intelligent one, not you, Joe Perry. The intelligent one.
I don't think I totally caught on. I guess I did because it happened so many times. You get quotes, but that Jane Farstrider translated a copy of the Prophecies of the Dragon.
Yeah, interesting question that I had because I've got the same entry for 597, which is like, is there any significance to these authors, right? Like that are writing them? Like, are there people who were at Tor or what was already stuff beforehand, or are they just names that just kind of work? Because there's a lot of different authors. But yes, the Jane Farstrider thing is a weird one because you don't really see him. I mean, he's a noble, obviously, from Malkier, so presumably old tongue is a normal thing. But yeah, it's very odd. It doesn't seem like something in keeping with any part of the behavior later.
Yeah. Strange that one is a warder, like he's some sort of scholar, but also a warder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, imagine if my internet had gone out. I could have just gone to bed.
Would have just been like, Tom's still reading page 996. I don't.
All right. Before we hand off to somebody else, since we're on page 597, let's just stay there and go down real quick. The Prophet. That's his whole entry. It's so sad.
Very short, right?
I mean,
No, he's got his own other
one in
Massimo.
Massimo. Yeah.
Shh, don't point it out. Don't point it out.
Oh, he does. Why does he get 2 entries then?
That is weird.
Shouldn't it just say C?
You get an entry for
Massimo,
every.
or-
No, you get
It should just say
entry
C
for every
Massimo.
nickname you've got.
What if Rand had like a different entry in for every of his weird titles that he has?
It doesn't even say how he does.
Garcon.
It does say Steam. It does say Steam.
Lord of the Morning.
Oh, it does, yeah, at the end.
It's just funny.
So you know what's you know what caught my eye? I remember reading this now. It says a former Shannara soldier who became an unauthorized militant evangelist. Like, what a weird word to use to describe like a militant evangelist. Unauthorized.
Well, that one's okay. He's the Queen blessed his military evangelism.
I have to admit that you fucking unauthorized military evangelist should be someone's like just like Wikipedia profile, like something that, updating my resume real quickly. Like those are 3 words that military evangelist I don't think comes together often anyway.
Militant.
Oh, militant, yes. Well,
As
I
if like there was
apologize.
some like formal process that he had to go through to become one, and he didn't fill out all the paperwork properly.
Forwarded Rand a copy of the book that he wrote about it.
I'm sorry, you
He's
missed.
like, no.
You missed the last 3 checkboxes. I'm gonna have to reject this application.
Was not stamped.
Yeah,
Who are the authorized militant evangelists?
I don't know.
Shut the fuck up, Tom.
excellent.
Well, obviously, I guess Loyal is he's a little militant at the end too, every once in a while,
Is he militant?
because he is the writer of
Evangelical?
Maybe the White Cloaks.
yeah, he wrote The Dragon Reborn.
Robert Houdin wrote The Dragon Reborn. Jono. I know because it's on. I have it on my bookshelf.
All right, I've brought too many stupid things to the table. What does somebody else have?
I got a smart one here if you want. Oh no, actually no. Perry Joe was the next one in your triangle.
Sure. We want to go all the way back to page the one that doesn't have a number on it.
We can jump all around.
578 to Pat and Fane.
Yeah.
He's one of the
Having
biggest
the
entries
big-
under P.
Having the big ones in here, like Padden and Perrin, I was wondering if there's something that stood out to you guys about those entries.
I have a couple notes for each of them, like nothing big. Parents is like
Well,
5
let's talk
pages.
about
and
Pat and
literally, it
Fane.
just recaps the book.
I don't think I'd ever looked this much. Hate the
What is going on with you two tonight?
Well, we'll never know. Joe, what did you have to say about Pat and Finn?
You know, I didn't even
What?
read the entry because it was Pat and Fane. I was like, I know who he is, so I don't need to read that entry. He's all over the place though, right? He's travels a lot. He's touching all the different groups with different names.
He definitely touches a group.
he
And
touches
lots of groups.
he touches that one boy, and the boy becomes like
Oh
messed
no,
up.
Joe.
I think
I
that
mean-
boy is in here too. He's actually one of the entries.
He is.
Yeah.
All these P's are interconnected.
The boy that he
he's there.
touches, and the boy becomes a little weird, and Fane thinks he might live.
Forget about
That's
that.
for other Harry Potter prophecies. The boy who touches. Yeah,
The boy who might live.
yeah,
The boy
That-
who
that-
might live.
yeah.
The boy who will probably be
when
okay.
you-
I don't
like,
know. We never
Joe,
checked back in.
Hey, is his name Shai Sam or Shai Assam? Is that in the books?
Yeah,
That's
it's at
what
the
I-
end.
That was one of my
Is it? Okay.
notes.
Yes.
I couldn't remember that for sure.
He goes by Shaisam like I think
Yeah,
when he
Silver
changes over to that,
Souls.
it's like Knife of Dreams, maybe, or
Yeah, it just says during the last battle, Thane transformed into Shai Assam.
okay,
the
Yeah,
Consumer
General
of
Soul.
Soul.
It's at the very end.
okay.
Like when he takes over like half of Thakadar right before Matt kills him. Like he's like kind of like subverted himself into something even stupider.
Yeah, he's got like this like cloud, right? Like this
How much of that-
pen cloud thing going around with him.
Yeah,
too.
he's just Pigpen.
I think that starts happening. I think maybe in the Gathering Storm, like there's a
No,
I've
yeah,
seen
it's
with Perrin,
it's
and he's
happening
like-
for a while. I think it's Gathering Storm.
he's got
I
like
agree.
this black aura to him.
I truly love the Pigpen comparison.
Yeah, that's how I pictured it when I read it. It's just he's walking around with like this, with like, stink lines and.
Well, you know
dust
for sure
lines.
he smells too. Like
he's
that guy
definitely
hasn't
smells.
taken a bath since book 1.
Basically.
It kind of stuck out to me, like, and I don't know why, when it said, describing his trips to the 2 rivers after he becomes the Hound and the Dark One and distilling the information and stuff, and it says he was sent back to mark the 3 boys. Is that evident in the first book that he does that somehow?
No, I think is it in the Great Hunt where Moraine interviews him. She interrogates him in the Great Hunt, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she tells them like some of this background of like,
she mentions it. It's not like explicitly said in Die of the World.
I'm just curious how he marked them for the Trollocs. It's in book 1. Well,
was
Jono
it the
has
dragon
an answer.
thing?
I don't think there's necessarily a mark that we would see.
I mean, does he specifically point them out when he's talking to them in the beginning, or?
Well, he definitely marks their homes for the Trollocs to attack for sure.
The Fade is already following the boys around before Fang gets there.
I think
that's true.
I think what he did was he did an upper decker in all their homes. That's how he
made them.
So the Trollocs would know.
They
do have
smell
a keen sense of smell.
Tam and Randu for some reason.
So they could get the scent.
This guy, there he is. How do you know?
Class dude.
Tell. You can just smell it.
That's why Perrin didn't stay
at
his home that night. It stunk so bad.
It's like, I gotta go. I'm just gonna hang out at the forge.
Question for the audience.
He didn't know why he had such a sensitive nose.
Yes.
At that time.
That was his first wolf sense.
Actually, when we do get to Perrin, that is actually in there. That
I want that to be
he realized he was a wolf brother when he smelled a lot of weird upper deckers.
It all tracks.
Yeah.
It's like I don't remember reading
and they're all P words.
Well, those are the kinds of nuggets you can get from the companion that aren't in the books,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The nuggets that he left on the top of their toilets.
They weren't nuggets.
They were mashing our shits.
I didn't remember too. Doesn't he kill one of the rogue Ashaman too? Like, I think when I was reading, I think it was actually I was reading the Ashaman's entry because again, there's a lot of connection. I think it was Torval is also in this, and I didn't remember that Fane was the one who killed him in Farmatting. I didn't remember that scene.
I think.
Rand and Lan jump through the skylight to come down because they're going to kill those guys, and they find him dead already.
Oh, yeah.
Jealous of Rand is his, not theirs to kill.
That's right. Yes. Now, okay. Thank you.
And that situation becomes like way more dangerous than it should have been. That's actually a pretty cool scene, even though it is
what was weird about
the
that?
hero doesn't have his powers moment, and it drives me insane.
Well, it was so cool because it was like a Land and Rand team up where Rand didn't have his powers, so the both of them were just like brought like sword fighting or whatever. I really liked that it was. Just
awesome.
Yeah,
it was like instead of Batman and Robin, it was like Batman and Batman. I was like, this is amazing. More of it. More of this, please. Jono, what do you got?
What were you gonna say?
One of the things I did not realize of this section, and I apologize, my internet sucks. I'm gonna go unboot my wife. Disconnect my wife. She's a blow-up doll.
You're pronouncing that.
Like it says in the Torum Ryanson part that after, because Torum Ryanson is there when Rand gets stabbed by Fane in book 7, or I guess in book 7, and then the part we're talking about is in book 9. Ryanson was aware of who the fuck Payton Fane was, or at least largely, that Fane could actually track Rand, and was totally cool with it because he thought that Rand ruined his life. I did not. It always seemed like Ryanson was pretty much like his slave. It was an intentional slavitude. It's like that was new to me.
Since we're talking about that part, and we talked about Fane and his like weird cloud of death, are we sure that the fog from that scene was a bubble of evil, or maybe that was Fane's powers manifesting for the first time.
That's interesting.
It says it's a bubble of
Fane.
evil here in the end.
Yeah,
screen.
it's pretty well known that I mean, because
I
the
know.
way he reacts to it, it's like it's a bubble of evil. Like he's
I actually-
also worried.
Oh wait,
I honestly thought it would upset
Which
people
scene?
if I asked that question.
Oh, you're just trolling the audience. Whether
a
or not
little
they're
bit.
listening or viewing, we don't know.
They'd be like, bubble of evil.
It worked on Joe and Joe.
It did. It
Why
worked on
Shizzle
me.
said Pat and Fane is like whiskey dick, fun at first but disappointing ending. All right, it's interesting.
No comment.
So-
Interesting perspective. I agree. His ending sucks.
Well, no pregnancy.
Jesus.
well, yeah, there's questions about the motility of sperm when it comes to pre-cum.
All right, we don't need to have that conversation at all.
Is there a question in the chat about that? Did I miss that?
Why couldn't Jono have been frozen for that moment? It's frozen for all the rest of them. I'm hesitant to ask Jono
He has to get a few of those in per episode.
what his next entry is.
It's fucking internet.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if we should me and Joe should go back and forth, or we should give you one, and then you're just going to say turn to page whatever, and then let's never see you again.
I will do one slowly and hope it works. And I'm also
Okay.
seriously
So
kind
far,
of
so
annoyed with this
good.
shit. Let's go to page 581.
Okay.
Already there.
Pate
Thanks for the
Alcar.
update.
Oh, Alcar. Sorry, my.
Pate Alcar, yeah.
So Pate Alcar. This fucking internet. This guy's range of outcomes in life are Mob and Aes Sedai, who just healed just saved his life. Murder a kid in Nynaeve's accepted test, or defend a homeland. Or murder his own family. Like things just are not like this is not a happy man internally.
Part of the mob that confronted Moraine on Winter Night, he was
So
ashamed when
annoyed.
he pointed out that she had healed Will's leg, which is his son. In one of Nynaeve's accepted test scenarios, Nella went crazy when she found her sons dead in their beds and went around saying that Pate was the Dark One and had killed her boys. Shit.
Yeah.
In that scenario, Pate hanged himself. Oh, and then it's like Pate helped Perrin in the defense of Evans Field.
So it all turned out. It all turned out okay.
I'm
It's
pretty
like,
sure.
If in his non-real life he was horrible,
Yeah.
but in real life he's fine.
I think my
Let's
alternate
just make a footnote of him being a good person.
alternate reality me just moved into a different neighborhood. Alternate reality him got accused of killing his children by his wife and hung himself. Really dark.
Yeah.
My God. And she called him the devil.
Yeah,
Oh, holy
was
cow.
telling everybody that.
I don't think he actually killed his sons in the accepted test. His wife just blamed him.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't.
Well,
go into
yeah, that's
whether
true.
it's
But then he hung himself because maybe either everyone believed it or it was true.
I mean, if your kids die and then your wife calls you the devil incarnate,
See,
and
he
blames you for
might
killing
have.
them, then
I feel like that's how you just going like, I think you're wrong.
no. We all know that dirty wisdom killed those kids.
So is that so? It's you're saying that, Tom, like saying that you're the devil. Is that kind of like what we're saying here, or what this is saying? Like, not that he was actually the Dark One. That's just like you're a bad guy. You're the devil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I don't think
Yeah.
she meant literally.
I took it
He's
as
literally
literal.
the Dark One.
I took it as literal because it didn't resonate with me. Like thinking like saying you're the devil. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking of like kind of like more of a
The devil.
colloquialism.
Seinfeld.
I'm the devil.
Gotta support the team.
He said that right before he hung himself.
Gotta support the team and then jumped off.
Maybe he got that headband with the two horns from Walgreens right before he did.
Just shirtless with a big D painted on his chest.
Team
Oh, there's no
Shadow.
Walgreens in the two. There's no Walgreens in the Two Rivers. It's Al Walgreens.
But what's
the
this
last
book
name of the family that owns
presupposes
the
is
drugstore
maybe
down the
he
street.
didn't.
Well, that's
Wait, are we talking about Little Bighorn now?
Fucking deep cut Wes Anderson joke.
Well, let's be fair. It's one of the greatest jokes.
I mean, it's a good line. You know what? I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go, Tom.
Did you really have to go out of your way to say I'm not a genius? All right. I have an entry that's kind of just a question. It's not going to take us a long time to talk about. If you guys want to go to page 597.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
No, we go all over the place. It's Pura, Joe. Why don't you read that real quick? It's very short.
Oh, yeah.
Pura. Oh, there she is. Okay. A woman whose real name was Rima Galfrey, an Aes Sedai of the Yellow Aja. She was captured by the Shan Chan and made Damani in High Lady Sorrel's service. I remember her now. She became a well-trained and obedient Damani and spoke in the third person. See also Rima Galfrey.
So my question is, would you willingly become a Damain if you could change your name from Rima to anything else?
Yeah, the second she got a new name, she was like, I don't mind it.
I don't hate it.
Stay in Damani. I'm going to start calling myself Pura in the third person.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Rima Galfrey. She calls herself Pura. She calls herself Pura in the third person all the time because she's just thrilled with it.
She loves the name.
Like, finally not Rima Galfrey anymore. God damn, that name sucked.
Now, yeah, it's like she's like Prince, or she has one name, so she's even happier. She's like, it's cool. I got one name.
Yeah, even if she was to get
loose, like Bono.
Pura.
Yeah.
Even if she escapes and went back in the tower, she'd probably be like, man, Pura's really happy she got away from the
Jono's back. Let's see how long this works for. Still shitty, Jono. Gotta be honest. Jono, what's using Wi-Fi in your house? Take all of those devices and turn them off, and then come back in.
I don't know.
Perfect.
Good answer. You said absolute lifelong slavery to shit name. It's good.
But it's nice slavery. You get a better name. You get a better name, and somebody pets you on the head once in a while.
It gives you treats.
Free food, free apartment.
Let me backtrack.
Are we talking about what's the name at the end?
We're talking about Pura, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why we're talking about Pura?
Pump wagons?
You just randomly picked that. You didn't read the entry, so you decided to go with pump wagons?
I'm kidding. It's a good name for a wagon, you know?
Why would it choose pump wagon as a name?
They've got big hoses. They shoot everywhere, you know?
Yeah, not dissimilar to Joe. That used to be my nickname in college.
Oh. Very nice.
Here comes old pump wagon.
Here's somebody's old nickname from college, Poke Leaf.
Man, do we want to dig into Poke Leaf for a second?
Poke Leaf, yeah, that's page 595.
Yes,
in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Or it could be Pokey Leaf. It could be Pokey Leaf.
Oh,
I mean, it's not a coincidence that it's used
it's
for sore gums and toothaches, right? Poke Leaf is a cure for that. I mean, it's a stretch, but
explain why.
No, I like it, Tom. Good job.
I
Pokey Leaf, however,
gums and toothaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can leave a reddish tint in there.
Can I stick on top?
Sure.
587. This is the nickname of Joe's asshole. Towards the very bottom. Second to bottom entry.
Perfumed quarter. That's the quarter of my body. That's perfumed.
Well, the description is the Smelly Port District.
I noted that, and I just put my note. I just wrote, haha.
I'm going to start referring to your assholes as the Smelly Port District.
Smelly Port makes sense. A district just makes it sound a little grandiose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a large one.
Tom, I've been letting people into my smelly port all over town, you know?
Well, it's a whole district, Joe.
Like I'm Sharon Stone or something.
Well, let's face it, Joe. Since we're on page 587, you want to look at the entry for Penfell Elsa? Joe, you want to go ahead and read that?
Yeah, I'll read that one for you. See, Elsa Penfell.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, she's great, so why not? You know, we always gotta, you know, if her name comes up in conversation, we have to pause on it for at least a minute.
My favorite character that no one remembers.
Jono, you seem like you're coming in
clear,
clearer, and maybe we can hear you now.
Clearer.
Man.
You want to catch up? I just said love that crazy bitch, Tom. That's good. It's good. It's good.
Let's go to a character that I thought so much. She's into some weird sex. That makes sense. Let's go to the character I thought would have a lot more going on. Page 593. Pevin!
593.
Pevin!
Pevin.
Kevin?
It says right here, a small boy from Chicago whose parents left him at home. One Christmas day. Is that all your references?
2 Christmases. Yeah. No, the actual character too, besides the amazing reference. This is the guy who was the bannerman for like Rand for a bit.
Oh yeah, I
did
remember that.
nothing.
Yeah. He was very proud to hold that banner.
It's gonna be like
you just
some
gotta let
sort
him
of
do it at that point.
arc. Yeah. Yeah. I thought there was gonna be a redemption arc. Maybe he would learn to channel. He would be anything. He just gets killed. Like there's nothing to
Redemption
him
from
whatsoever.
what? Holding a flag? What's he need to redeem?
No,
I think he was proud of it.
Of avenging arc, maybe, right?
Okay.
Yeah, guess what? There was. He just died on
It is
holding a
weird that
fucking
he just
flag
like
with
carried
fucking,
a flag and
hearts.
yeah.
Dies. Yeah. No one else.
Trollocs
There's nothing to him.
There he took a Trolloc spear through this
Surprise
and died. In death, he wore his first expression that Rand had seen on the man. Surprise. Yeah, that's good. That's fucked up. Just quiet, just a quiet guy. The only time he ever shows emotion is when he gets blasted through the chest with a spear.
Had it coming.
Yeah,
Perry Joe?
I've got one here actually. Page 583.
Alrighty.
Second entry down, Pansai.
Yeah, Pansai. Yeah.
So the name Aravine assumed when posing as the head of a supply caravan transporting captives to a Trolloc camp at the field of Merilor in the last battle. Now, I don't remember this, but I'm assuming she was transporting captives to the Trolloc camp to be eaten. Was that what was going on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that one of the? Isn't that someone that Fail came across when she was like on the wrong side of the battle lines?
This is that whole. Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken,
there's a whole bunch of weird shit going on like who's carrying the Horn of Valir and like trying to get back and like so like there's just like weird people crossing each other in this uncomfortable spot because Aravine, I believe, is one of the people she met in the Trolloc or in the Aiel camp, right?
Was she part of Cha Fail? I don't remember.
Is that right?
Aravine? I don't remember.
Oh, that could be it too. If only we had a dictionary.
Yeah, if only we had some way of looking back to see who Aravine was.
Yeah. Oh, go back to that episode and bring it up. And
I'll just bring. I've got the clip right here, guys. Don't worry, I'm prepared for this.
Can we play the clip?
Yeah, play the clip.
I don't know who I was looking at.
Yeah, she. She was a dark friend too. Oh, to make that.
I assume so. She was bringing people to Trollocs to eat.
I mean, yeah, she was gonna kill people.
You got to make them money, man. You know.
An Amadisian woman who was a guy Shane in Savannah's camp. Huh. And the first in this camp to swear fealty to Fail. What? Now I'm confused.
So she did.
She was revealed to be a Darkfin in the last battle when she turned Fail's party and the Horn of Valir over to the Shadow. Fail killed her. Interesting.
Yeah, I hate
Nice.
that.
Go Fail.
Yeah.
I still don't fully understand how that worked. I don't want to go all the way into the last book, but it didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember it that well.
I remember it pretty well. I mean, I reread
Not
it
really.
like.
Well, there's some. I mean,
Yeah.
they're about
I
to bring
think
the
I was
Horn of
finishing a
Valar through
reread right before we started again.
like
So,
through
like,
a supply
2 years ago?
gateway, and then there's like a weird bubble of evil, and somehow the gateway sends them to the wrong place in Child Gold. But then they're trying to figure out how that happened, and they're like, "There's no way it could have happened." And the lady making the gateway gets killed by the bubble of evil. I'm like, I don't think it ever really matched up in my head, like with the rules of the world. But it's. I just remember it being weird. It's been long enough since I read it that I probably shouldn't dig into it too much. Anyway, that made a lot of sense. That was fun for everybody.
The Wheel of Time version of Meals on Wheels.
Isn't that just
Are those
anybody
Trolloc? Are those Trollocs?
else? There's a Trolloc joke in there somewhere.
They need so no. Well, I mean, it was for Pansai.
Pansai.
Pansai. Jono, do you want to give us one with your blurry screen?
I apologize for my internet, and yes, I do want to give you. I want to give you one real quick. I want to talk about.
Are you going to put it in my perfumed corner?
You wash it up a little bit, maybe. Nile, by the way, is really fucking old. Like, I know we know that, but he's 87, and I think he's the oldest channeling man in the entire series. He's on page 584. Sorry if I didn't say that.
Did you say channeling man?
He's the oldest non-channeling.
Oh, non-channeling man.
Yeah.
Everyone, when
Indian
Jono
bread.
talks, you need to listen real close. Focus.
I've made a way for,
Yeah,
I've
we
made
didn't
a
get any
way
of
to
that.
not be spoken over.
Oh, there you go.
To
What about
ensure
Sen
no one
Bowie?
speaks over me.
That guy seemed pretty old.
932. He is 25 years older than Sen Bowie. Or
Jesus
20,
Christ.
Oh,
20 yeah.
Wait, did you go through every entry to verify this fact? You knew Sen Bowie's birth year real fast off the top of your head.
I don't know if no, I did look up Sen Bowie. I don't know what you can and can't hear, and I hate this so much.
I don't know what you guys want to do.
Feel like
about
I'm
this.
I
Let's
really
get
kind
Jen
of feel
in here
like,
to replace him.
I feel
let's
like we
just
gotta,
replace him with Jen.
I feel like we got to cut him out. We got to cut him out.
Let's replace him with Jono. Jono, why don't you try just logging in on your phone and using data, not your internets,
Yeah, why haven't you
and
used
just
it
have a
the whole
little
time?
mobile screen? Do like Tom used to do and just like wander around in the darkness in the woods.
Joe, read the last sentence of the first paragraph of Pedro Nile.
The last sentence of the first paragraph: all sinew and bone, with white hair. He was married in his youth, but his wife died before he rose to power.
I find that to be so strange. I consider every white cloak to be 100% sexless.
Yeah,
Possibly unique.
they seem very asexual as humans.
They do mention, I think, later on, like some of their families have families. Well, obviously Bornhold, right, has a son.
Bonehold, but yeah.
I wonder if this had anything to do with like his rise to power or like his
Hey,
what
idiot.
happens to him in the future.
once he got the ball and chain out of the way.
Yeah.
You're really
I feel like a real idiot for not thinking of this bit earlier. Like, yeah.
Jono, you're here.
Hey. Yeah. So again, first off, to go back, and I apologize to everyone for everything. Luckily, no one watches this show.
Do you
He
think
is
Pedro Nile killed his wife because she wouldn't have sex too much? Listen, I'm asexual. We need to get rid of you.
She's
I don't think-
disgusting.
I don't think Pedro Nile would marry somebody that wanted to have sex.
I hope not.
Cook.
He's a good
clean.
man.
Even as a youth, I would
That's all I
imagine
need.
him married to an 80-year-old woman.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, that's probably why she died before he rose to power.
He was a
That's
cougar
actually-
hawk.
She just
She
died
died-
of old age.
It didn't say that.
Will
in
you
the
marry
book.
me? I'm 87. Doesn't matter.
Did he marry her for her money or something, or was he just like
Yeah.
into old
Then he
women?
just used her money to back his political campaigns.
Makes a lot of sense.
Thanks, Ayush. That was a good thought.
I like this
What do we-
backstory.
What do we call the male version of a Black Widow?
Holy shit. Morgase was just like Elaine flirting with men decades older than her. I mean, Beach is well aware of my love / despise of Elaine.
Now that I have internet, what do I do?
I guess read us an entry because
I don't know. I was
crushing it. No,
getting-
we need to talk about Pedro Nile. We just got there. What do you want to say?
That was literally my only note.
Oh,
Just stunned he was married. Can't pick.
he's married, and how old he is. Like, seriously, I looked up Simbu. He was born in 932. Pedro Nile was, no, not 9. I was born in 911. Too soon, man. So, like that's a big fucking difference. And Simbu is a gnarled fucking, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Very spry, though, which I guess makes sense. So, again, I don't think there's any male non-Chandler that's Niall's age that we
off the
see.
top of our heads and Chat's head is the oldest people in the book.
I mean, aside from
That,
Cats,
non-channelers.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody
Tom,
died.
obviously.
Tom, but
yeah.
there's no there's no indication of when how old he is, and I think we even hear
like
like
Isn't he like 60-ish? I always pictured him.
Yeah,
I've heard
like
that he was like in his
60.
40s or 50s, and something.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
I did before, but I considered him a spry, like late 40s. Later.
I considered him like late 50s, early 60s. So like he's kind of older than Morgase, but at the same time, like,
it's a lot older than Morgase.
well, yeah.
So you-
I said Lenny. That's a good call because she's
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
Let's find out how old she is.
How old is Lenny?
So
There's a lot of flipping
Tom's old
back.
enough that when him and Maureen get married and they go out to dinner, people are gonna like whisper and say she's a gold digger.
He's the gold digger, though.
Yeah, she's
Like-
way older than him.
Or so, like
They don't
at
know
least
that,
one woman at the bar is gonna look at them sitting at a table together and just be like, "Oh, I hope that's his daughter."
How old was
It
Jane?
doesn't have
Jane
Lenny's
was also
age.
super old. These are good calls, everybody. Thanks
Jane
for using your
Forster.
brains while we can't.
Don't ask us the
loyal-
question. You should be answering the
lo-
questions down there.
Elder Hammond,
Chat.
Elder Hammond can't channel.
Oh, the okay, don't
Fuck
count.
out of here with your.
Nailed it.
He just said non-Chandler.
That's
Aaron
true.
Bell, Almond Bunt. I don't think Almond
Yeah,
Bunt's that old.
Lenny Sains, and then we have Lenny.
Jane Farstrider was
Bell
born
was
in
old, though.
925.
Good job, Village Mattress. That's
So
a good
younger.
choice.
Yeah. So Farstrider is 14 years younger than Pedro Nile.
Almond Bunt's not old enough to.
Jane is
not too old to go
925.
work his sister's
Oh,
apple farm.
3 years older than Petra Nile.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, Bear. Oh, but she can.
That's a
She
good
could.
one.
Wait, she couldn't channel.
no,
She
Bear
did
can
not-
channel. No,
I thought Bear could channel.
No, she
No.
couldn't. She's just
She
dreamwalking.
can't channel.
Oh yeah, she was just a dreamwalker. That's right.
oh yeah, but no, Joe, Pedro Nile was born in 911. 928 was his first battle. You're looking at the wrong thing.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
seeing that.
Remember,
Sorry.
too soon. Yeah.
Wrong.
There's no Almond Bunt doesn't have an age. It just says he had a well wrinkled, leathery face. Half his teeth were missing.
Now, what does it say
his
about
hands were
Norman
gnarled.
Bunt's wife?
But his old man's voice was strong, as was his body.
Wait. Joe, could you look up Adrienne Bunt? See how old she was. Just read her entry for us.
Okay,
There's an Adrian Bunt.
Adrian.
No,
This
Joe
is why
P.
we're doing this. Like, does Joe not know?
No, Joe P. I need him to look up Adrienne Bunt.
It's on page 21.
Okay.
And it's the reason we're doing this.
Just read that for us.
Almond Bunt's dead wife.
Yes. Tom literally flipped through this for like 2 minutes and was like, maybe we should do this. Maybe it'd be fun. And he saw that entry and went, "This is amazing. We have to go through this letter by letter."
Oh my lord!
Oh, it's better than any joke good. We could make.
I think people know that.
Almond Bunt's dead wife.
How's your dead wife? Right? Was that from Face Off?
There's some good answers though. Almond Bunt, Herod Fell, Jane, Bear, Lenny.
But the reason why I actually was interested in
what about that rapey toothless noble that from Andor?
Oh, you know, fuck! Didn't it start with a B?
They had a time to a tree in the last book, so they could all go.
Was he that old? I don't remember that. I don't remember him being old. I guess I remember him being.
No, he was old.
Like, no, I'm thinking I'm conflating that with somebody else.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are different.
There's someone a couple episodes ago they tied to a tree, but Tom's right. That there's also a rapey old man who was like so old, like he just like here is like whatever noble daughter.
Like the political.
Yeah,
Strife over the throne. Oh, okay.
He was just lucid enough to like still be head of the house and for people to be afraid of him.
I vaguely
he was powerful.
Recall this. Yes.
And then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, my maid will come serve you dinner." And then every time the maid was just like, "Well, I'm gonna get raped by this old man." And then they're just sad. Who am I talking about?
You know one of the coke leaf that makes you rigid down there?
Was he one of the nobles when Elaine was trying to? Is he an Andor noble? Was he
can't get hard anymore? Try poke leaf tea.
He's an Andor noble. He's a Versacene Elaine.
Yes.
Yeah, he's in the with Aramilla, right? He's with her.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name though.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that guy is real creepy, and I think senile.
Jono's
probably.
Yeah.
Jono, I'm so glad you're in the show now. You know,
it's been a pleasure.
Does anybody have one, or should I do one?
I do have one.
The Pedro Nile thing, and actually, like the relevant stuff besides the old
Finish
penis.
what you have to say about Pedro Nile, and then Joe Perry, the guest of the show, actually has one to give us.
So what fascinates me about Nile, besides the fact that he's married, he's so fucking old, is that his ideas are pretty brilliant to a certain extent, right? Like to capture Terabon by creating Almouth as a nation, and realistically, everything he wanted to do would have worked if it wasn't for that meddling Rand.
Wasn't for those meddling kids.
But the nation he wants to create is the actual thing that the Shan capture, right? The entire southwest of that continent.
Yeah, basically. His plan was just like 3 years too short.
Yeah,
too late. Rather,
almost playing all the way southeast to Abu Dar is the same shit that the actual Shan captured.
Well, the key to his plan working is Rand is not the actual Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, but it's tortured logic too. Yeah.
He's like, we got all this craziness going on with the Dragon Reborn, who obviously isn't the Dragon Reborn. Let's swoop in and clean this up.
Yeah.
But remember, his idea was that he literally thinks that like the Aes Sedai of Age of Legends were strong enough to have fucked up and then unfucked the prison. So no worries about like the actual Dark One getting out. And it's just the last battle, if it even happens, is just Trollocs. So he's not it's just such a.
I know. I want to go. What does unfucked mean?
I meant to say unfucked instead of
Okay.
Yeah.
That's on the clarification.
Unfucked. I think the Shan also thwarted his plans. Yeah, that's basically what we're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. He was about to.
I think Valda
readapt his plans because he was getting that information.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He was about to make moves based on that information, and then was murdered.
Well, also, I mean, even if Bonehold hadn't been like actually like a good soldier and done the honorable thing and like tried to like ride down and fight, like and had actually just been on Asunawa's and Valda's side, maybe it would have been turned out better for the White Cloaks in general. Certainly that would have skewed towards the questioners, but it might have been kind of more in line with what Niall wanted to do, really.
Yeah, are
Well,
we
remember-
bothered at all by the borderline redemption arc of the White Cloaks at the end of this book? Like, what is Gallad going to form them into when all is said and done?
Neo,
Like a happy Ku Klux Klan? Like
That's a good question.
I've never been
A
I've never
happy
been
Ku Klux Klan.
I've never been happy with the idea that just like, well, we'll help you out, and like the leader's a pretty good guy now, and like, look, we're saving everybody. I'm like, they should have been white. Are they any better than the Trollocs? Like, fuck them in the ass.
Not really.
What? Weird thing, and I'm sure it's like, where do you want to go? Like,
Tom, not all the Nazis were bad people.
Some of them were just following orders.
Yeah, some of them were just listening to the guy above them,
Right.
Shanchan, as an entire half the continent, they believe in slavery. We're okay with that, right? Apparently. Then you have the White Cloaks, who are, like you said, Nazis. Okay, it's a weird thing to have been like make that peace.
Yeah, where do they go, right? Because Amador is controlled by the Shanshan now, right?
Mary Frenzy says, "I'm feeling Blazing Saddle vibes. Have a nice day." Signs on their White Cloaks. That's good.
There's nowhere for them to go back to, right?
Yeah.
They don't have their Fortress of Light is taken over by the Shanshan. And don't forget, Fane
that's
was in
true.
there too, screwing with him as well.
Yeah, I mean, do they need? I mean, if anything, the White Cloaks could easily find a place to exist with what's her name? The largest bosom on the face of the planet. His eventual wife, obviously.
Oh, Berlin?
Yeah,
Berlin?
Berlin, yes. Oh, Mayenne, yeah. Yeah, so they might have like moved their seat of power, but I mean, I feel like they would probably have kept going.
I mean, if Gallad marries the White Cloaks up to Mayenne with Berlin, who's something of a descendant of Arthur Hawkwing, and the Shanshan are moving in and taking over, like they could do something there, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know, I'm just
Southeast, because it's like literally the southeast, and it's got then eventually gay marrying in.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I mean, isn't the Blight now also habitable? Technically, yes.
I think there's plenty of land up there for them to.
Yeah, but isn't it like, would it it's not like it like a burst into like spring life and like normal plants started growing. Like I'd imagine it would go through quite a period of change over time before you really like, hey, there's farmland up there.
Yeah, I mean, right. We assume Malkier kind of reforms, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I guess on that note, do we want to go to Perrin?
We better, because he's one of the 3 Taveran boys, and we haven't even talked about him.
one of my only. I mean, it really is just a recap of the book. But one of my only notes about Perrin was basically that I forgot that him and Fail were the monarchs of Saldia.
Yeah,
because everybody else died.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of
what
that.
What happened to the 2 rivers? Do they rule?
So there's like a whole big conglomeration now, right? There's the 2 rivers, Andor, Saldia, Mayenne, Geldin are all kind of like under Perrin and Fail now.
Yeah, sort of, because the bear. I mean, the first of Mayenne is definitely under his rule.
I wasn't expecting this.
She swears fealty to him.
What
right?
happens to these groups after the last battle? But let's roll with it.
I don't know if Berlin swears fealty.
I swear she does, but I
don't
could
remember.
be. Maybe I'm wrong.
What's her name does? Alejandra does.
Yeah.
The Queen of Geldin does.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Berlin
does,
would.
yeah.
Berlin would not.
I don't think she swears
pretty sure
fealty to
Berlin.
them. But there's like I think Avienda, and I think that's actually one of the entries here, like the Dragon's Peace or something like that. They talk about that.
What'd you say, John?
That is one.
Yeah, Pack is what he's talking about. That's got like.
Oh, okay.
Things.
You're cutting in and out still. Your audio. Stop moving your phone around. Hold it still.
Jono's done this like a million times with his phone just steady on his desk. I know he has.
No, he uses his computer.
Nah.
I remember Elaine saying that she'd make Rand High King of Menetherin with Perrin, the warden of all that land, so she could essentially rule it all while answering to her. So he could essentially rule it all while answering to her. I remember that
Perrin
too.
and Fail have weirdly consolidated like a lot of power in nations, but none of which are interconnected in any way.
Yeah,
and I
they're all
mean,
over
I
the
guess we
place.
see from the future it doesn't necessarily matter. Andor is still a power, the Isle are still, and then the Shanshan, and but I mean, obviously, but that was should things go wrong. In Avianda's vision, so.
One thing I want to point out about Perrin is one of the last lines here. First giant paragraph.
Jono's really dragging us down.
He could
normal
argue with women, certainly, but like many big men who were subconsciously afraid of letting go of their anger, he found shouting at women to be extremely difficult. Under most circumstances, he would rather just walk away. That's what he's trying to read.
Joe, kick him out. Kick him out. I never would have thought we'd replace Jono with another Joe, but
yeah, that's what we're doing. See you,
that's
Jono.
where we're at.
Oh no!
I'll leave him in no matter how painful it is.
And you, Yoey. The sentence before.
Oh, you're welcome, Jono.
Under any normal circumstances, the notion of violence towards women was abhorrent to him. I will read that again. Under normal circumstances, the notion of violence to women was abhorrent to him. Did that have to be in it? I feel like that should be normal.
I'll read it. I'll read it for you, Tom. He's saying under any normal circumstances, the notion of violence toward women was abhorrent to him. And I think his point is, shouldn't that always be the case?
Is that what he said?
Abnormal circumstances?
Under any normal circumstances.
Do you think they have to clarify?
So the point is, there's a line he'll cross where he's like, I'll slap a lady.
No, they have to say because he kills.
See, Mary Frenzy gets it. Define normal circumstances.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
When it's not a forsaken attempting to.
Yeah. I think that's what it means.
Are they saying he's more reasonable than Rand? Because Rand,
under
any circumstances,
Rand and Matt and Perrin are all like, I heard a woman. Like Matt's like upset about killing that dark friend that he was having sex with for like ever.
Oh yeah, Melindra.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does it. I mean, yeah.
Let's go to Sean Connery to clarify. Man, I wish I had that clip ready.
Oh, I'm missing out on something.
Sean Connery just classically talks about how it's okay to hit women.
Oh.
Keep them in line, Joe?
A lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna look this up.
I'm glad we got to Perrin might beat a woman.
He's boring. Everybody knows about Perrin.
Yeah, I mean, he might just throw an axe into their stomach in the show. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have too many more serious ones, but do you want to go to page 582?
Sure. If we have more Perrin, I'm more than happy to jump back.
Yeah, we can come back.
Yeah.
Let's go back and forth to Perrin. Because I don't have serious ones, so let's just pop in a joke once in a while.
All right, go ahead.
Peter de Fierna Akon.
Peter do Fierna Akon. Yeah.
Yeah, just read the last entry.
The last sentence?
Yes, the last sentence, sorry.
At the meeting On the ice with the Andorrans and the rebel Aes Sedai, Pater stood too close to Halima and stared down her dress. She smiled at him warmly.
My whole note just says he looked at boobies. It's like, I don't even...
I just love that it's like in the entry so so clearly.
That's his legacy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's his legacy.
it's hilarious. It's literally the only thing he does in the entire book series. So there's a physical description, what his role is in his country, and then like he looks at someone's tits and they're like, well, we got to put him in the book.
We got to put him in the book. And not only
Wait,
that,
you forgot
why he's in the book.
Yeah, and his description talks about his curled mustaches, which he sometimes yanked violently.
Jesus. Violently. Swirling it with his knuckles, and this guy's like
He's like naive with the brain.
I gotta see some titties. That's all I got cares about.
It's like a Dave Chappelle character.
And that's why we need everyone from the books to be put into the show exactly as they are.
as they are.
I want to see all of these weird moments. Oh man.
I'm outside in my backyard on a Tuesday night. It's 9:45 on the East Coast, and I'm just yelled, I gotta see some titties. Like, not loud, but not quiet. I mean, the neighborhood's dead quiet.
He was onto her being a channeler and wanted to check her power level.
Those are
Thank you, Beach.
Wait. Is power level relative to boob size? That would explain nothing.
Yeah, everyone knows that, Tom. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
There's two different measures: size and ribcage size.
All we got is the end of that, Jono.
I heard ribcage size.
Cup size, I think he said, and ribcage
Cup size and ribcage size.
Wait, now we're trying to interpret it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
Why? Fuck.
So this episode is just going to be me, Joe, and Tom talking with Jono randomly cursing.
This episode doesn't count as Jono being on the show. Does anybody have anything else about Perrin?
What's he pointing at?
He's looking at pointing at an entry.
I don't pillow friend.
Oh, pillow friend.
Well, yeah,
right,
that's
I'll
pretty
flip to
standard. We don't have to dig into it. No. Don't help him.
Well, I'll just read it for him. You know,
let's just watch him. No, I want to watch him go insane.
Talk about pillow friends.
Calm down.
Whatever you read about pillow friends,
We need
Joe,
subtitles for Jono.
I'll find uninteresting.
Jono, type your comments into banners, and we'll just add them to the bottom.
You know what the one thing I will say about pillow friends is?
Yeah.
It said behaviors associated with this appellation generally ended when one or both parties were raised to the Shaw, and it took me a hot minute to find a definition for appellation that made sense for that sentence.
Can you explain it? Because I'm not sure.
No, I honestly challenge you to Google it, and it'll take you a minute.
Last minute.
Yeah, but you did the work for us, Tom.
John,
and we won. You didn't tell us
stop
the
trying
answer.
to answer. I already forgot it. You're only allowed
Hello,
to
friend.
show
Term used for young women at the White Tower who formed a romantic attachment to one another. Behaviors associated with this appellation generally ended with when one or both parties were raised to the Shaw. Interesting.
It's rare that I encounter a word where I haven't read it before and I don't quite understand it in context. So when I looked it up, I was just like, none of this makes sense.
Beach's answer is that's how to check Aes Sedai's ages. The drier, the older.
Wait a minute. The drier, the older.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't get it. Is that a laundry joke?
No, I think it's another type of joke.
Wait, explain it, Perry.
Do you really need me to explain this? Thanks, Jono. Jono's kind of getting into the area.
I would very much like you to.
As people get older, their skin kind of dries out a bit all
It's-
over their body.
Okay.
That's all.
He's talking about
Maybe-
dry meat curtains.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we have a pertinent
I
comment.
don't think I mean, Appalachian. It's just like it's a title, right? So the name Pillow Friends
When you
goes
first
away.
said Appalachian,
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the area along the Appalachian Mountains.
The
like in West
Appalachian
Virginia.
Mountains.
You're talking about West Virginia.
Hey, when you Google Appalachian, there is actually something called the Appalachian Mountains, not the Appalachian Mountains. But literally, I was like,
Really?
is this a mistake?
Somebody put
Someone
a whole
fucked this up.
entry, a Wikipedia entry, just spelling it wrong.
Yeah,
Separate.
just for an entire entry.
Honestly, it was 20 minutes of my day, and I really enjoyed it.
So, I mean, on the
Oh,
same
God.
page, if you want to talk about a little bit about the Pit of Doom, that's
Oh, yeah,
an
let's do
exciting
it.
place. Something that I always thought was cool about the Pit of Doom was there was no roof, only a great hole rising through the mountains to a sky that was not the sky of Thakandar. It made that of Thakandar look normal with its widely striated clouds streaking by as though driven by the great winds.
Is
So
that
it's-
just time breaks down in that area kind of effect?
I think, right? It's like
What page is that on, Joe?
it's the same page at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
That's Pillow Friend.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
And it was possible to sense the bore, though it was physically no closer.
Yeah,
the
I always
thinness
found that
in the
interesting.
pattern.
Yeah.
It was almost like it's in its own dimension,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so to speak.
It's almost like- Again, a weird. I guess every letter has a theme. There was literally, Joe, one week where every other entry talked about somebody's boob size. This one seems to be the theme of this one seems to be the interconnectedness of like all of these entries, because I don't know, this kind of calls to mind Portal Stones, other dimensions, and this, and like
Yeah, Portal Stones.
Hold on a
that's right.
second. Jono,
Yeah.
I added you in as audio only, if that's what you're trying to do.
well, I can see it.
That's perfect.
Is it perfect?
Yeah. So I phone. Is it working where you can actually hear me but see me?
It's like
Yes.
watching an old kung
You
fu
want to
movie.
not put that down by your crotch, though?
Guys, I hate to say it,
Or-
but we're gonna have
Yeah,
to
yeah, sorry.
thank God this isn't live. We're gonna have to start over.
Yeah. Thank God. Wait, is it Tom? Wait. I mean, it says we're live right there. So we've been live for an hour and 20 minutes.
No, that says live.
Oh.
I don't really understand what the time. I don't know what the timer means.
Woo! Man, this whole time I was thinking that said live.
That means we've only got a minute and a half left.
And now it's causing an echo.
All right, let's go to page.
You're doing great, Jono.
Let's go to page 587.
I'm so fucking irritated. I'm just gonna go back to the crotch.
I mean, I
photo.
can't hear you. Oh, that's a nice crotch shot.
The entry is Harry, Joe, and it says, "Why did I come on this show?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good. Jono's
And it's
so
actually
mad.
a picture of Joe Perry.
Joe, what did you actually want to talk about with the Pit of Doom? Did we answer your questions?
No, that's all I wanted to bring up with the Pit of Doom.
No, just like physically no closer thing, thinness in the pattern.
Yeah, the weirdness of like the ceiling, the sky, which it's not the same sky that's outside.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that is always weird.
It's a volcano, I'm assuming, right? Because a wide ledge overlooking a lake of molten stone,
It's Mount Doom.
where
The,
man high flames danced, died, and rose again.
There was no roof, only a great hole rising to the mountains, to the sky. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's got to be.
It's actually a very horrible what happens in Lion King at the end. So if you walk out onto
Pride Rock. Just fire everywhere, dead lions.
It's a thinness in the pattern.
Yeah. You can see the ghosts of your dead king father up above you.
Yeah.
I get it. So Mufasa is the dark one. That's what you're saying?
Scar.
And I didn't even realize too. The first sentence, right? This is where the Dreadlords dedicated themselves, so they actually had to make a trip to the.
Yeah,
the Pit of Doom.
I thought that was interesting as well.
Lord. Like a dread.
Jono. Dedicate themselves to the Dark One where it's possible to communicate with him. That makes sense. That's where it's their pilgrimage location.
Like Mecca.
Yeah. Because that's where they can talk to him. That makes sense.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Dreadlords got to speak to him, to be honest with you. I thought it was just like the Forsaken.
Maybe it's not about them. Well, it's not like he's responding to them necessarily, is what I mean. Like, so maybe it's less about them talking, having a conversation with him, but maybe more about like praying or like confessing something to him, rather, like a one-way conversation. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Social at the beginning of book 2. Almost like I could kind of be invited. I totally make up shit.
It's okay, we don't know what you're saying anyway, so.
He said something about the Dark One social at the beginning of book 2. Can I hear him better than you guys or something? Like, why am I getting like most of what he says?
He cuts. To me, it's like I hear, and then it cuts out, and then it cuts back in.
It's choppy. It's choppy at best.
Yeah.
They're there for that pleasure. I don't know if that's just a joke or something to actually discuss, but maybe that's part of it. Mary Frenzy has a very good comment here. I wonder if those rapid winds striating the clouds smells like the Dark One's taint. No, but it does smell like his perfumed quarter.
God.
Beach said Joe and Jono just share a mind after all of these. That's basically it. Yeah, he can say like 1 out of 3 words, and it'll be like he's trying to say is suck a dick. Thomas, you got anything to round this out? I think we're about done with the P's.
I think
unless we want to talk about Parent a little bit more.
No, there's better people to talk about than Parent.
Yeah, there's better people to talk. Oh, well, let's talk about him, Perry.
I have random things, but nothing that's going to get us to that tWoTcast for this week.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you never know. Okay, you never know.
Well, no, I kind of know. Don't even turn to page 581, but Paytar Nachiman. I don't even know how to say it. I forgot he was Karuna's brother and that she's the sister to a king as an Aes Sedai. That's always interesting.
Yes. Yeah, they make a point of it, right? Her, because right, she's with Bera, right? And they talk about how Bera's like a farmer or something like that, and Karuna, but they were almost like Bera was just as intimidating or more than Karuna.
They have a weirdly outsized role for like a minute and then kind of go away.
Yeah, it's just in that section of time when Rand's dealing with like the different groups of Aes Sedai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, go to 582 for a second. Maybe you guys can answer this question for me. Well, it starts on 582. It's at the bottom. The Panarch's Legion.
Okay. The Panarch's Armed Guard in Tanchico. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and read that, I guess.
It consisted of about 3,000 men on land and about 1,000 to 1,500 on ships when it existed. The latter's primary function was to keeping down pirates. Like the lifeguard, it was dispersed by the Shan-Chan, though many of the survivors were incorporated into levies raised by the Shan-Chan.
What is the lifeguard? There's no entry.
Really? Did you check on the guard, life?
I did. I literally.
Perry Camacho, that's the best question I've heard all night.
Maybe I should have checked under the life, come a guard.
Oh, The comma lifeguard.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that ring a bell?
No, I've never heard of that.
No, not really.
Okay.
Maybe it is under the lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
Usually when I ask this question, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I know," and they spit out the answer. So, all right, good. Nobody knows what the lifeguard is.
Well, the Shan-Chan are really against anyone being saved from drowning or anything like deaths by sea. So that's probably. They were like, get rid of all these stands on the beaches. Fucking sick of that shit.
That's what the wave was for at the end of season 1. Just wipe out all the lifeguard stands.
It shined into the show, Joe. That's good.
That's tWoTcast for this week.
King's
God.
King's lifeguard.
He's
Jono
pointing to
found it.
King's lifeguard. Are you kidding me, Jono?
Jono found it.
I hate him so much. He ruined it.
Jono can't speak, and he's adding. He's making us go back.
Like usually was pirates. When do you see pirates in the series?
You actually,
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I don't know.
The personal
said,
guard
"Wait
of
a
the
minute,
king
let
of
me go
Taravan."
back," and ruined it. The ending of the show.
It's
Wait,
actually got the same exact sentence at the end of it. It says it was dispersed by the Shan-Chan, though many of the surviving men were incorporated into the Shan-Chan forces.
My God! All right, go to page 584. Let's see if we can make a joke out of this. I don't think we can. Pedra.
Pedra.
You don't read the whole entry.
Where
It's
are
about midway through. I just thought it was interesting that we talked to Alan, we talked to Maria, and they're both just like, yeah, we don't take license, and we basically we went only from Robert Jordan's notes. But then there's a sentence in here. It describes who Pedra is, and it says, Egwene didn't like her, probably because of her officious name. Like, probably.
She let Egwene to her room when first came to the Egwene didn't like her probably because of her officiousness.
It sounds like the person that wrote this entry was just guessing.
Yeah, just maybe.
She's not there.
Listen, we have a note that Egwene didn't like her, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's because of her officiousness.
Why not just say Egwene didn't like her, period?
Mary Frenzy said the king of Taravan has a force called the King's Lifeguard. It's the equivalent of the Panarch's Legion. And then Why Shizzle said led by Sir David Hassel.
That's tWoTcast for this week. Why Shizzle, you just did the capper joke.
Oh my God. You're like, that's the first time a comment's been a last tWoTcast for this week.
Well, we had to get to it.
Excellent job. Why Shizzle?
If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments. Or the questions.
Good below. Yeah. Good.
We'll definitely respond to them.
I do respond now.
I said we would.
Yeah, we will. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
So
I
we're
will.
on the same page.
Yeah,
Same
for
page.
sure. Absolutely.
You can listen to the audio version of this show wherever you get your podcasts, I think.
That's still true. Yeah.
The theme songs are brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington. Andrew, do you still put Andrew on the podcast? Or do you just
Every time.
straight up? Okay. Oh, Andrew Bar Time. Let's do it. We missed it. Links, all their stuff is below.
He's still in the middle of our show, by the way. Every episode ever ends with a song by Andrew, and he goes, "Do you put Andrew on the show?"
The second we stop talking, I hang the fuck up.
Yep, good job.
Which I'm going
You don't
to
even
do
listen to
following.
Andrew's song. How rude!
I do sometimes. Thank you to our guest, if we had one, did we?
It was just Jono
thank you to our
popping
guest,
in and out.
Harry
I
Comet
think.
Joe.
Oh, hey,
mean,
Barry
yeah.
Gama Joe.
Honestly, not even.
Hey,
a
thanks for
guest.
being on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Cool.
having me.
Co-host Joe. What do you have coming up?
We're in the middle of a Shan-Chan. We're doing a deep dive into the Shan-Chan. Since we got so much Shan-Chan in all like the teasers and BTS.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's do a Shan-Chan deep dive. So that's what we're doing right now. We released part 1 yesterday, and we're going to be recording part 2 on Friday.
Have you done quite a bit of
okay.
research?
Yeah, I It's the deep dives.
He
are
read
always
the
a lot of
entire
research.
letter P.
I read the entire letter P, which
Companion.
surprisingly had nothing about Shanshin in it, except that the Shanshin dispersed the lifeguards. That's about it.
If you brought this to the planning meeting with Jen and Tom, it's like, well, I read the letter P.
You should definitely bring up that the King's lifeguard was dispersed by that giant wave. What's
the most interesting thing that you discovered, or do you want to give us a teaser?
We talked a lot about the fingernails last episode.
Oh.
Already interested.
It was pretty interesting. We had that conversation about fingernails and how the amount of fingernails you have lacquered and long are determine your level of the blood. And we talked about how the Empress, may she live forever, how does she get dressed, eat a sandwich, wipe her ass,
servants.
So we came to the conclusion that there's a royal feeding bag that just gets put over her face. So she can eat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Just like a horse trough.
Is that why Tuan shaves her head? So the straps don't get caught in her hair?
Yeah.
No, she just accidentally does that with her nails all the time.
Yeah.
It's like an Edward Scissorhands situation. Yeah, there you go, Joe. St. Joe knows.
All right, join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering.
Hold on a second, real quick.
What?
Links to Talkaranriad are in the description below if you, for some reason, don't know who Joe is in his show Talkaranriad.
There's no way they don't.
There isn't. There isn't, but
I would love to know. I would love to know who is watching. All right. Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering the companion, the letter Q, with the Queers of Time.
That is true. Yeah.
Say goodnight for Jono, Joe.
Suck
Harry,
brick kid.
Joe, please. and Joe.
Keep the change, fit the animals.
And our guest, Joe.
Have a good night.
All right, Tom, study your math.
You just say have a good night.
I got thrown off when I saw the graphic come up. I thought you
were like, whoa, graphic.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast.